We'll get started with our Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam study, and we'll chant some verses to glorify Bhagavatam and to seek blessings from the Guru Parampara before we start to read Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shaiva Naruttamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet. Nishtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā. Bhagavati Uttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Ārādhayo Bhagavan Vrajeshu Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam. Ramya Kachitupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Vakalpita. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumartho Mahan. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu Matamidam Tatradharana Para. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Vasudeva Paraveda Vasudeva Paramakha Vasudeva Parayoga Vasudeva Parakriya Vasudeva Param Jnanam Vasudeva Param Tapa Vasudeva Parodharmo Vasudeva Paragatihi. Namaste Girirajaya Govardhaniti Namine Ashesha Klesha Nashaya Param Anandadayine. Hantaya Madriya Bala Haridasa Varyo Yadrama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramoda Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayorya Paniya Suvasa Kandara Kandamulai. Jai Giriraj Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Giridhari Krishna Bhagavan ki Jai. We are reading Canto 10, chapter 25, entitled Lord Kṛṣṇa Lifts Govardhan Hill. And we have read till text number 3 yesterday, where we were talking that Indra was not happy. What to speak of not happy? He was very angry. So his anger, he was like boiling with anger. And when he was boiling with anger, he was speaking, when one is full of anger, we cannot express good words to come out from his or her mouth, right? And we have all maybe observed in our lives or others' life, we have certainly observed that when one is, so therefore it is said in the Holy Scriptures that when you're too angry or too happy, don't speak anything, because very likely that we may make a wrong choice at that time and then we might regret. So, but often the tendency is to speak, not just speak, but speak very harshly or angrily or shout, etc. So Indra is also doing that. So in text number 3 onwards, Indra starts to speak, as Shukdev Goswami is narrating. All these are Indra's words. Let's see what he spoke further from text number 4 onwards. Yatha dridai karma mayai krato bhir nama nauni bhai vidyam anvikshiksham hitva titrishanti bhavarnavam. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace Abhicharana Arvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Their taking shelter of Kṛṣṇa is just like the foolish attempt of men who abandon transcendental knowledge of the self and instead tried to cross over the great ocean of material existence in the false boats of fruitive and ritual sacrifice, fruitive ritual sacrifices. So Indra is speaking that he's giving a very nice analogy here, right? What is this he's saying? That let's first discuss this analogy. Bhava Arnavam. Bhava means Bhavasagar, material world, which is Arnava. Arnava basically is ocean. This material ocean, Arnava. Now, Nauka we heard about this, right? So, karma, fruitive activities, rituals, etc., or they are not sufficient to help us cross over the material ocean. When we abandon transcendental knowledge, so if we say in this light of bhakti, if we give up shastras, if we give up holy scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, spiritual master is like the real boat. Spiritual, actually, it is compared that human life is like that boat, which is like a via medium. A boat is a via medium to help us cross, but we can't drive this boat or navigate this boat. So we need Guru Karnadhara, expert spiritual master, who knows the essence of holy scriptures, who is living by his own example, who knows the essence of bhakti, and who can help us navigate our boat to cross over Bhava Arnava. Just mere fruitive activities, just mere ritualistic performances cannot help us. If we give up the process of bhakti and say, no, my karma is everything, karma will help me, my karma kand activities or some rituals, some charity here, some charity there, that will help me. That will, it will not even help to cross over the a tiny.
వీరందరూ ఇప్పుడు నార్మల్ పేర్స్ ఉన్నాయి.
Hare Krishna. That will not even help to jump across a tiny, like a puddle of water, what to speak of Bhava Arnava, the ocean of mineral existence. But the scriptures explain that those who take the process of bhakti, then that entire Bhava Sagar, Bhava Arnava, becomes like a tiny, hoof print of a calf where there is water. Like calf, it's his hoof print, and then there's water. Even a small child can jump over it. So by the process of bhakti, not by rituals, not by karma kand, not by anything else, only by the divine process of bhakti yoga. So Indra is kind of helping us to understand that. But he's now comparing it in a wrong way by saying they're taking shelter of Kṛṣṇa. They are taking of shelter of Kṛṣṇa. They are so ignorant. They are so foolish. And thinking that their taking of shelter is as futile as taking shelter of karma kanda to cross over the material nations ocean. In short, this is not going to help. In short, they are fools, as what Indra is telling. They're not. They have given up the spiritual knowledge, or they've given up the real thing, and then they've taken shelter of this. This is a very foolish, futile idea. So sometimes, as we see here, like when a person is with anger and forgets one real position, the words coming out are also like, like someone is intoxicated, let's say intoxicated with alcohol, what they speak in their own world. Sometimes this person is intoxicated with anger, what they speak, their own world. Intoxicated with pride, right? Of I, me, and mine, right? No one, so that's what is happening here as well. Any other thoughts, comments in this text? Okay, we'll go on to the next one. Anyone who did not get chance yesterday wants to read text 5?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text 2. Am I reading text 2? Sorry, text 5.
Okay, 5.
Text 5, yes, sorry. Bachalam balisham stabdham ajnam pandita maninam Krishnam martyam upasritya gopa me chakrur apriyam. Translation and purport by the disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. These cowherd men have acted inimically toward me by taking shelter of this ordinary human being Kṛṣṇa, who thinks himself very wise, but who is simply a foolish, arrogant, over-talkative child. Purport. According to Srila Sridhar Swami, through the insults of Indra, Goddess Saraswati is actually praising Kṛṣṇa. The Acharya explains, Balisham means free from pretension, just like a child. Stabdham means that he bows down to no one because there is no one for him to offer homage to. Ajnam means that there is nothing more for him to know because he is omniscient. Pandita Maninam means that he is highly honored by the knowers of the absolute truth. And Kṛṣṇam means he is the supreme absolute truth, whose transcendental form is full of eternity and ecstasy. Martyam means that although he is the absolute truth, he nevertheless appears in this world as a human being out of affection for his devotees. Indra wanted to rebuke Kṛṣṇa as Bachalam because the Lord had presented many audacious arguments in the line of karma, Mimamsha, and Shankha philosophy, even though he did not accept these arguments. Thus, Indra called the Lord Balisha, foolish. Indra called him Stabdha because he had spoken boldly even in the presence of his own father. Thus, although Indra attempted to criticize Kṛṣṇa, the Lord's transcendental character is in fact impeccable, and this chapter will demonstrate how Indra came to recognize the position of the Lord. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading this. This is a very nice verse. And actually, we see this time and again. Wherever anyone is criticizing either the Supreme Lord or his devotees like Lord Shiva, etc., and they're speaking harsh words, but the acharyas in this verse and in many others in Canto 4 for Lord Shiva and others, they draw a complete new meaning. That's the beauty of acharyas. That even, as we say, like even in harsh words, they're seeing glories of Kṛṣṇa. This is called, they're always approaching Kṛṣṇa favorably. Anyabhilashita shunyam. What is that verse? Anukulyena Kṛṣṇānu shilanam bhaktir.
Kana karmati anapritam anukulena Krishna anushilam bhakti uttama.
Very nice. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyena anukulyena Kṛṣṇānu shilanam bhaktir uttama. Wonderful. This is Uttam Bhakti. That even in harsh words, so there are 6-7 words used here, which are harsh. Externally, Indra's intent was harsh. Vachalam. What does Vachalam mean? Arjuna uvacha, Dhritarashtra uvacha, Rishaya uvacha, so and so uvacha. Vacha means vacho vegam, to speak. He speaks too much. He's just talkative. He's a talkative boy. Too much talking. And that too, over, the word exact is over talkative. So what was he talking? He was talking about karma mimamsa philosophy. He gave so many reasons that karma is this, karma is great, karma is everything. There is no God in picture. Basically, he drew everyone's attention by the power of words. Now, words have a lot of power. But Krishna's intent was very correct. Sometimes even Krishna is speaking wrong philosophy, but his intent is very appropriate. Sometimes people could speak the right philosophy, but could be technically correct, but the intent could be bad. Right? So, what is more important, the intent or the content? Both are important, but the intent is more important, right? The intent is more important. So whenever we speak, we should always be mindful. This is a mindful speaking, mindful communication, mindful eating, mindful this. It basically, what is our intent? That is very important. Like Hiranyakashipu in Canto 7, when Hiranyaksha died, Hiranyakashipu is speaking very sound philosophy as per the words of Bhagavad Gita to convince the wives of Hiranyaksha or pacify them. But what was his intent? Intent was to basically take revenge from Lord Vishnu. He's speaking, after all, one has to die, right? After all, body is perishable, body is anyways going to die, soul is eternal. All these Bhagavad Gita words he's speaking. But then why is he having a revengeful mentality? Right? After all, if the body has to die and your brother did something wrong and he's getting the reactions of his karma, then why this revenge is coming into picture? So just external words don't matter. Especially in spiritual circles, the intent is more important. So Indra is using the words vachalam. He's very talkative. He just talks, giving so many this logic and that logic, and if we say, hey, if we call someone, hey, you're over talkative, it's used in wrong context only, right? In most situations, hey, you talk too much, right? That's vachalam, the first word used. But what do the acharyas say? One who can speak according to the Vedic authority. That's Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa speaks Bhagavad Gita. Kṛṣṇa gives all the Bhagavatam. So that's the positive meaning. One who speaks. So maybe we can make a table here, right? Lakshya Prabhu, you like to do that. Maybe you can make a table. So the Indra's meaning and the acharya's meaning for all these words. Lakshya, can you do that in your tab or whichever gadget you use? You are the tech guru. So all these words. Okay, the first word is vachalam. So Indra's meaning was bad, but here acharya's meaning is one who speaks. The second word is balisham, balak, balika, right? Child. If someone say, hey, you are childish, again, it's immature, right? Like if a child speaks, a 5-year-old says something very technical, we'll not take it seriously. They don't know. They are immature. They're not seeing the world, right? they may say we'll hear it, and maybe especially if it's talking about, hey, we should do this puja. Out of nowhere, you are like a child, you don't know anything. Maybe in future, yeah, we'll just pacify, hey, take a lollipop and just do your own work. So basically Indra is saying, this ordinary child, right? And here the word used is like foolish. Sorry, that's for agyam, basically childlike. But what's the real meaning? Children are free from pretension. Such a beautiful quality, right? So we can also try to develop these qualities. Like we should speak according to Vedic authority or scriptures, and we should be childlike. Childish is bad. Childish is immature. Childlike is very good. Can someone share what childlike qualities are good for us? Any thoughts?
Simplicity.
Simplicity. Yeah, they have no duplicity. Right? Whatever they are honest. Honesty, right? The father says, like this famous joke, the son answers, like 5-year-old answers the phone, dad's phone, and the person wants to talk to the father and says, Mr. Kapoor is looking for you. Please tell your father. And the father doesn't want to talk to this Mr. Kapoor, let's say. And the father tells the child to tell that the father is not at home, so that he can hang up the call. And then the child says, oh, my dad is saying that dad is not at home, right? So they're honest. They are free from pretension. What other quality? So simplicity, Prabhu mentioned. No duplicity, honesty. What else?
Prabhuji, innocence.
Innocence, yes, Varun, Prabhu. Where are you joining from? Thank you for joining.
Yeah, Prabhuji, actually I used to join earlier, but due to some other issues, from the last 1 week I was unable to join. Sorry for that.
You live in Tampa or
Yes,
which city?
In Tampa, Prabhuji, near Tazam.
Okay. How you got connected? Do you know anyone?
Prabhuji, I was connected through Eknath Prabhuji. It was like they are like advertising for the Janmashtami before September 5th. So that was the medium I was able to join this group, Prabhuji.
Ekant Prabhu. He's here, right?
Yeah, yes.
Ekant Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thanks
Thank
for
you for
joining.
thanks for joining, Varun Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So Varun Prabhu mentioned a beautiful quality, that innocence. Children are innocent. Very, very innocent. And Kṛṣṇa says bhakti is simple for simple, or simplicity. Their simplicity here. It goes along with their, simplicity, innocence. Kṛṣṇa, innocent means they're soft-hearted too, right? They're soft-hearted, they're pure, right? They're free from most of the anarthas. And even if they have, let's say, 2 children, 5-year-old, they're playing, and they have maybe a quarrel with the sibling or with the friend, after 2 minutes, they'll forget all that, is it not? But adults, 20 years back, you told me this, right?
Yes, Prabhuji, you are right, Prabhuji.
So we can learn this this is being childlike. They're always happy, jolly, joyful, playing, eating, running around. So we should also be happy, joyful, like childlike. So a lot of things to learn here. And what the acharyas are explaining, not free from pretension. Children are not pretending. They are whatever, they're not hypocrite. Simplicity. What this inside is outside, right? So, but Indra is saying, he's considering him ordinary, he's considering just like the Lord, Balisha, foolish, immature, you can say. That's the, like, children may be immature, but that's the Indra's meaning. Stabdam, vachalam balisha stabdam. Stabda. What does the word here mean? Stabda. Stabda means those who are like my way or highway, right? Arrogant, fixed. If you have to do this, it has to be done what I'm saying, right? And that's a sign of arrogance, pride, right? That's Indra's meaning, right? Arrogant. One who does not bow down. He bows down to no one. Sorry, that's where is Stabda? Indra called him Stabda because he had spoken boldly even in the presence. Like, again, a sign of arrogance. If like 20 adults are sitting and just like suddenly a 7-year-old comes and starts to speak in the middle of that assembly, it's not considered very kind or respectful for that, all the adults. So how arrogant is this little Kṛṣṇa? These 20 adults or 50, I don't know the exact count, but a lot of adults were assembled in that assembly, including his own father and his uncles and etc. And this child is speaking in front of all of them. Very arrogant. But what's Acharya's meaning? That he bows down to no one because there is no one for him to offer homage to. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Right? He is the supreme personality of Godhead. He's the topmost. He's the primeval. He's the Adi. He's the Purna. He's the Govindam Adi Purusham. So, he's the Purushottama. He's the best in everything. He's the ultimate. Vasudeva Paraveda, Vasudeva Paramakha. He's the ultimate in every aspect. So, how can he be arrogant? So, that's the third word. What's the next word used? The first line, Vachalam, Balisham, Stabdam, Agyam. Gya means knowledge. Agyana. Agyan means no knowledge. No knowledge means fool. He is a fool. That's again the bad meaning as per Indra. But what is the meaning as per Acharya? Agya means that nothing more is for him to know. He is the source of all knowledge. Vasudeva Param Jnanam. From all the Vedas I am to be known. He is the cause of everything. He is the source. He spoke the Bhagavad Gita. He gave all the holy scriptures, Bhagavatam, Vedas, etc. He is the source. Vedanta Krit Vedavit Eva Chaham. Right? He is the compiler of everything. So, for him, nothing else is to be known. How many of us can say that? For me, nothing else is to be known. If someone says that, that's just a sign of pride. Even someone may have done, masters and PhD and postdoc. The more advanced studies they do, they're more just only focusing on tiny, aspect of that specialization. Like, let's say someone is an engineer, let's say, in mechanical engineering. Just give me an example here. Any field, like then they do specialization, let's say in material science, masters, and then they're doing some specialization in just one aspect or one, even whether it's computers or just very tiny aspect. Same with the doctor, like doctor, general doctor, then there could be a special eye doctor, and then there could be a specialization only they do very expert in only one tiny field. They have no knowledge about how the ear is functioning. They may have no knowledge about how the bones, if you say, can you do a bone surgery for knee or for anything? Can you heal this? This person has maybe a liver issue. Can you heal? No, I don't know, right? That's what they'll say, and that's being honest, right? But Kṛṣṇa knows everything, past, present, and future. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaśchana. Past, present, and future he knows. We can't tell what we ate 2 weeks back in the lunch. How many of us can tell? Just by like quickly. Can anyone tell? Exactly 2 weeks back, or let's say, September 9th, what you ate on lunch. And we'll have to like maybe think for really, really a lot, and then we might be able to tell. How many of us can tell? Okay, 9/21/2022, who can tell what you ate that day? Oh my God, it's so hard, right? So hard, impossible. We ate something that day, right? For sure, right? Unless it was Nirjala Ekadashi, which it was not. So the point here is that Krishna, there is nothing else for him to be known because he is the source of all the knowledge. And that's the word agya. Let's look at the next word. Pandita maninam. Pandit, again, mana means who considers oneself like a pandita. You are a fool, but you think yourself very learned. That's, but actually the real meaning is he is very honored by the knowers of the absolute truth. Those who are pandit, those who are, he's so knowledgeable, so everyone considers him highly honored. He's very honorable, right? That's the meaning here. He is revered by those who know the absolute truth. That means devotees, jnanis, yogis, everyone, Supreme Lord, either in Brahman, Bhagavan, Paramatma, etc. But he is very, very honored by those who know absolute truth. Krishna, the word Krishna means the absolute truth, the all-attractive, the transcendental form of the Lord, full of eternity and ecstasy. That's the meaning of Krishna. Krishnam. So these are the 6-7 phrases used. Martyam. Yeah, the word Martyam is also used. Martyam, actually here, what does the word Martyam means? That ordinary human being, like an ordinary mortal. But what is the real meaning? That although he's the absolute truth, he nonetheless appears in the human form. Why? Why does he appear? Out of affection for his devotees. To share, he appears to attract us to his pastimes, forms, qualities, so we can get inspired to go back to our real home. He does Lilas so that we can be inspired and read and hear and relish and visit those holy places like Giri Govardhan, visit Vrindavan, visit, all these Dwarka, Mathura, etc., Jagannath Puri. That's why the Lord appears in this human-like form. He is not a mere mortal, which Indra is considering here, Martyam. So all these adjectives, I think this verse is nice to remember. We almost discussed Vachalam Balisham Stabdam Agyam Panditamaninam Krishnam Martyam Upashritya. So we discussed here Upashritya. So they have taken shelter, Ashraya, Gopami Chakrur Apriyam. They have acted unfavorably, apriyam. They did not act in a priya way. They have acted against me. All these gopas, they have acted against me by following this guy here, who has these bad qualities, over talkative. He's like a child. He's very arrogant. He doesn't know what he's talking. He doesn't know. He doesn't have knowledge, but he's acting as if he knows everything. But we discuss the real meanings as per the acharyas. So we should meditate upon those meanings that Krishna, we should and try to develop these qualities too. For example, be like a child, right? And develop good knowledge, etc. Speak according to the Vedic authority. That's Vachalam. Any comments, thoughts here? Any other additions? Okay, perfect. Let's read the next one, then text number 6. Varunji, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhuji.
Great.
Isham Sriya Valipatnanam Krishne Nath Mapita Manam Dunata Srimada Stambam Pasun Nayata Sanksayam. Can I see the translation, Prabhuji? Yeah. To the clouds of destruction, King Indra said, "The prosperity of these people has made them mad with pride, and their arrogance is backed up by Krishna. Now go and remove their pride and bring their animals to destruction." Purpose. It is clear from this verse that the residents of Vrindavana had become highly prosperous simply by protecting cows, since Indra wanted to destroy their so-called pride based on wealth by killing their animals. Well-tended cows produce large quantities of milk, from which come cheese, butter, yogurt, ghee, and so on. These foods are delicious by themselves and also enhance other foods such as fruits, vegetables, and grains. Bread and vegetables are delicious with butter, and fruit is especially appetizing when mixed with cream or yogurt. Dairy products are always desirable in civilized society, and a surplus can be traded for many valuable commodities. Thus, simply by a Vedic dairy enterprise, the residents of Vrindavana were wealthy, healthy, and happy, even in the material sense. And most of all, they were eternal associates of Supreme Lord Krishna.
Very cool. Thank you for so nicely reading.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
I'm very happy to have your association reading Bhagavatam together. You know, this is more like a reading group we have, and we discuss Bhagavatam. Is the real nectar for our heart, because you know it is a real medicine for the soul to purify our existence, to purify our anarthas. When we read about Kṛṣṇa, when we hear about Kṛṣṇa and his devotees and all the pastimes. So really appreciate, Prabhu, you got connected, you know, through Ekant Prabhu, and this is real connection. One who helps others to connect to our true father, true mother, true friend, Lord Śrī Krishna. This is really real friendship. So I'm so grateful.
Yeah, even Prabhuji. I'm grateful from Eknath Prabhuji. Yeah. Thank you so much, Eknath Prabhuji. Yeah.
Wonderful. So please continue to join the programs in person and of course here. So he'll share all the details of when we have a program. There's one tomorrow as well. Sorry, day after.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So in this beautiful verse, he is speaking to the clouds, named Samvartaka clouds. He's giving them the order to basically go to Vrindavan, where all these Vrajavasis have acted against me and heard this foolish Krishna, this arrogant boy, right? And cause havoc. This is the nature of envy, is it not? So first it was in the mind. How does it start? First in the inside, right? First there is mental thought. Oh, this person is my enemy. Oh, he did this. Maybe we have not spoken it to anyone. And then start to verbalize, you know. And then, so from thoughts to words to action, so physical action. So that's why I say, watch your thoughts, because thoughts become words. Watch your words, because words becomes action. Watch your action, because actions become your character. So it starts at a subtle level. It starts at a subtle level and then goes to gross level. And the earlier we can, even if let's say we get a bad thought, like who can say he or she never had a bad thought? But quite hard in Kali Yuga, right? But at least if we have the good intelligence, oh, I should not be thinking like this. This is not appropriate. Let me try to mold it. That's what Kṛṣṇa says, isn't it? That's what Kṛṣṇa says in the Bhagavad Gita. Can anyone tell which verse? It's a beautiful verse I'm going to share with all of you. Chapter 6, text number 26. Kṛṣṇa says, maybe someone can read this. I'm sharing on the screen. Who hasn't got a chance to read?
Guruji, can Chakrika read?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yato nischalati manaschañchalam astiram tatastato niyamyathai atman eva vasam nyayate. Ready? Translation? Translation, purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai.
From wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under control of the self.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Chakrika and Canto. It's so beautiful lesson here, is it not? Like mind, if it goes flickering, where will it go? It will slip in the wrong direction only, right? So if the mind goes in the wrong direction, it's very hard to control the mind, or, but at least we can try to bring it back. Hey, this is not appropriate. Oh, mind, it's not appropriate. The intelligence, nourishing the intelligence to keep the intelligence stronger, to discern it's not right. So even if a bad thought comes or something bad comes in the mind, we can tell, hey, it's not good for you. Stop thinking about it. Get out of there, right? Think about Kṛṣṇa. Think about the positive. Let's say the mind is thinking about negative about some person or some devotee or some instance, right? We can immediately try to think something positive about that individual or that instance, whatever, right? So Indra, but if you don't check that and let it ponder, guess what? It will multiply fast, and that will turn to words, as we saw in this case, Indra's case, and then we'll start speaking. Hey, do you know this person is like this? This person is like this. This person is like that. So we will start to verbalize those bad thoughts, and then we may even do some physical harm. That's what Indra is doing here. First he was just thinking, then he verbalized bad things about Kṛṣṇa, calling him bad words in text 5, and in text number 6 it has turned to actions. He is taking a severe, very severe action, right? To teach them by destroying their animals. Now go and remove their pride and bring their animals to destruction. They are proud of their animals. These are the animals which have given them milk and so and so. Because this is real Godhan. Why do we say Godhan? Cows is real wealth. If cows are prosperous, and recently, I think I'm going to share a video also that which Nayan Prabhu shared with me. It's for Lila Prabhu. I'm going to share with all of you that, cow killing is there these days. There are so many earthquakes and natural disturbances and this and that, so many havocs, forest fires, so many countries, so many US and outside also. Why? Because of cow killing, right? Meat eating, etc. Cows are real wealth. That's Vedic culture. Cow protection is not just for the cowherd community. It's everyone. Cow is a mother. Cow is not an animal, and gives godhan. This is real wealth. So, has any human made this machine where there's no, like, the byproducts are also such useful, like even the cows, God has made such a nice, I won't call machine, creation, where cow's urine, cow dung, everything is pure, right? Human cannot make that. Let's say you have a diesel engine or petrol engine, so much smoke comes out, right? Which is bad for the environment, right? Or any machine for that matter. Even if it is electric thing, but it still needs energy to charge or whatnot, right? Which is again generated. There is no such creation. So cows gives us so much food, milk, ghee, butter, and so many things Prabhupada is mentioning here. And that's real wealth. That's real wealth. They were wealthy, healthy, happy, even in the material sense. What to speak of, they're always being with Kṛṣṇa. And most of all, they were eternal servant. That's the best thing. That was a sign of real health. The residents of Vrindavan were healthy, wealthy, happy in material way, and most of all, like much important. So this doesn't matter. In the material world, things will change. There will be happy days, there will be sad days, there will be wealth, poverty, health, disease. But this is more important. Most of all, are we trying to be eternal associates of the Lord? Or are we trying to follow in their footsteps? Are we trying to become pure devotees? This is bhakti. And if we do that, these things will naturally be taken care by Kṛṣṇa. So in short, Indra is very angry, and he wants to cause havoc to the animals, and especially the cows who are like so dear to Kṛṣṇa. Any other thoughts, comments, additions in this text anyone has? Okay, we'll read one more verse for today. Anyone who has not got chance yet?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes, Mata, please.
Hare Krishna devotee, Dandavat Pranam. Verse 7. Aham chairavatam nagam aruhya anubraje brajam marudganeir mahabegir nanda goshta jigangsaya. Translation and purport by the disciple of His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. I will follow you to Braja, riding on my elephant Airavata and taking with me the swift and powerful wind gods to decimate the cowherd village of Nanda Maharaj. Purport. The Samvartaka clouds were frightened by Indra's powerful mood and thus carried out his order as described in the following verse. So, here Indra is very angry, and he's sending to the and he's sending the Samvartaka clouds to destroy the village, the cowhead village of Nanda, and he is also following him to by his Airavata Hasti. Now here he forgot that once Indra is being intoxicated with his pride and arrogance, and he's like means he forgot that Krishna is the supreme. He is the supreme personality of Godhead, and he wants to destroy Krishna's mercy, Krishna's Krishna's pure devotees. Back to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading this verse. Rain is very harsh rain, right? We know, living in Florida, we don't have any idea of what, the Samvartaka clouds are. The worst we may have idea of these, heavy rainfall and, tornadoes and hurricanes. They are not even the worst of the hurricane is what, like Cat 5, Cat 6. We know how much destruction and havoc they can cause with heavy rains and winds and like flooding, but that's not even like 0.00001% of what we are talking about here. Just to give some idea, the worst of the hurricane, the worst of the flooding in what we may have experienced is not even 1/1000th part of what we are talking about. So multiply that with like billion times, just to give some idea what we are actually talking about. When we are into the Lila, we can feel it. When we try to link it to what we may have perceived a little bit, it really helps us to get some context of what. So when there is heavy rain, right? We're not talking about pleasant rain. We're talking about flooding, heavy rain, heavy rain. And it was not just rain droplets. It was like pillars of rain falling. It was not like droplets of rain. Some people may like rain, most people may like rain if it's pleasant, nice, gentle rain. Some people may like to even bath in the rain, but who would want to go if you see pillars of rains falling? Pillars of rain, right? Not droplets, pillars of rain. That's Samvartaka. And we all know, for those who have experienced either the snow or the rain, if it is coupled with very strong winds, it feels much more stronger. Even with the heat, if it's very hot temperature and very strong winds, it's like called Lu in India, right? Here, like a hailstorm, like it feels much more adverse or harsher. Is it not? We have all experienced that to some extent. Like temperature is, let's say, 0 degrees, but feels like -20, right? Because of the winds. And for those who have experienced then, winter climate. So that's what Indra has taken Marut Ganai. Marut is the wind god. They have Mahavega. Vega means speed. They have great speed. So with great power or strength, he's basically wants to, add to the destruction. So strong pillars of rain, Samvartaka clouds, which are used at the time of devastation, right? Devastation, where the whole world, not the world, I would say, all the lower planets are, the lower layers are of the 14 planets are submerged with water. That's the devastation clouds. We're not talking about 100 inches of rain or even like 200 inches of rain. We're not talking about that. We're talking of a lot more, where the 100 yojanas of rain. This is unfathomable, and added with great clouds, great winds. So in short, Indra is all set to cause havoc. Why? Tiny thing, I did not get respect. What was the root cause? Right? Or they didn't respect me, and they heard this little childish boy. So much, the desire to get name, fame can blind us. Oh, they didn't respect me properly, so I'll kill them. Is that okay? Even if you want to, let's say, is that like justifiable, even from the logical perspective? Even if, let's say, someone did not respect, but will we want to kill that person? Really? Right? Even from a logical perspective, it does not make sense. But there's no question of making sense, because the question is that the sense is lost. The one loses one's senses, right? That's the whole idea. If Indra, what's the solution? If Indra would have taken some guidance from his spiritual master, from those who really know and can truly guide, then he would have not done this step. He said, okay, that's fine. It's not that big of a deal either. Like same with Ravana. All his good counsel told, hey, don't try to harm Sita, don't try to kidnap Sita, rather return. It's still not late, but he did not listen to good counsel. Hiranyakashipu did not listen to good counsel. So that's the demoniac quality. Even the devotees may develop this. Indra is Kṛṣṇa is teaching here that Indra, being a devotee, developed that quality which is unfavorable for bhakti. So we should always, and Indra is not an ordinary devotee. We have discussed this multiple times. Indra is a great soul. So even great souls, as Prabhupada says, accidents can happen even on the royal roads. So we should be always on guard that we don't develop this. Even while practicing bhakti, it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to get carried away with wrong propensities. So we should always be on guard and check with our senior Vaishnavas, Guru, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru, is the right thing to do. Because we may lose that sense sometimes. So very, very important lessons. Indra is actually just a via medium set by Lord Kṛṣṇa to teach all of us, so we don't do these things. Hare Krishna. Any other thoughts, comments here? So let's see tomorrow what happens further, where they are now going towards Raja. Indra is in his elephant Airavata with clouds, with water, they have filled up all their tanks and their ammunition, right? And they're about to attack, right? They're about to attack Raja. Of course, I don't want to leave on, all of you know the story anyways. Nothing can happen to Raja because Kṛṣṇa is there. So don't feel anything harm will happen. Okay, someone of you may be like Kulashekar Alvar. Okay, Indra has gone to attack Raja. Let me take my flight. I'm going there to protect Raja. Right? That was King Kulashekar Alvar's mood. So I don't want to leave anyone, who's packing his bags to go. I want to protect, some of you could be that great souls, but I don't want to leave on that suspense. Don't worry, Kṛṣṇa is there to protect, and he'll always protect. So we will study tomorrow what happens further. Any comments before we wrap up?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful lecture today. I mean, it feels like we are almost really having that close attention to the detail. Yeah.
Attention to detail is a sign of love.
Yeah.
Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Shri Giriraj Govardhan ki jai, Shri Giridhari Bhagavan Shri Kṛṣṇa ki jai, Jagat Guru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaः. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.